Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today we have a massive patch that came out for Valorant. Patch notes 4.0 for the new act has been released. The Yoru changes has also been released. Some new controller buffs and nerfs, and Icebox changes have also been released. So this is going to be a very action-packed video. I'm incredibly excited about it. So let's get started. So the general one is so this is just a general agent updates. So this is the improve the system used to place abilities at targeted ground locations. This update should make it easier to find valid placements locations in tight spaces. So it just makes it easier, obviously, for these abilities listed below: Omen's Shadow Step, Viper's Pit, Chambers, Trademark, and Rendezvous, I'm guessing. Yeah, so I think his Rendezvous is the slow alarm bot. Every KJ ability, Yoru's Gate Crash, and Sage's Barrier Orb, those are all going to be it's basically going to be a lot more easier for the ability to be used in tighter spaces. So that's a pretty good change. It's basically just quality of life. First off with Omen. Now, obviously, all these controller agents have been changed, and I will give my opinion on if it's a good change or not, and will affect the meta. It says here, as strategic diversity in Valorant evolved, Omen has struggled to find his place within the meta. Many of you enjoy his gameplay loop, but have found it increasingly difficult to justify his selection in higher tiers of play. We want to increase his reliability as a controller by rolling back a selection of earlier nerfs to his dark cover, his smoke, and sharpen his combat-focused abilities. So his smoke, the cooldown has been decreased from 40 to 30 seconds. The cost has been increased 100 from 100 to 150, and the projectile speed has been increased from 28,000 to 64. Well, I think it's still 2,800 to 6,400. So the smoke is now going to be going zoom away, and it's going to be a lot more quicker. But it will be a bit, I guess like a tiny bit. What's I'm trying to look for? A tiny bit. You know what I mean? You know, just like it's going to be like not as good as it was last patch, but it's still going to be pretty decent. The shrouded steps, so his teleport, the cost has been decreased from 150 to 100, and the pre-teleport delay has been decreased from 1 second to 0.7 to 0.7 seconds. So I think when he teleports, I think that's how long it is, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I might be completely wrong. I'll try and find a video for it. I'll be honest. Sorry. I'll try and find a video of from the Korean Valorant YouTube channel. But yeah, Paranoia added forward spawn offset so players adjacent to him are not hit. So I think that's just like right next to him. So if you're like right next to him, you won't get hit, which is pretty nice. Brimstone. Also, the Omen changes pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be the best though. I still think he's maybe going to be the weakest smoke still. That's just in my opinion though. Brimstone. Oh, I have amazing things to say about Brimstone. Brimstone is in a healthy spot overall, but he wasn't performing well in scenarios where we think he should excel. The limitations on his smoke deployment and his Stim Beacon's versatility will leave him too constrained. With these changes, we're hoping Brimstone will be a competitive choice on a healthy portion of the map pool. And that is very much correct. Oh my god. So the Sky Smoke, I think, is mainly what people are looking at. And also the Stim Beacon. I think it's mainly the Stim Beacon that everyone is looking at. So firstly, we'll talk about the smoke. The Sky Smoke, the deploy time has been decreased from 2 to 1 second, so it's going to be a lot quicker. And the deploy radius has been increased from 5000 to 5500. The smoke height has been increased to match other controls. I don't know, I did not know it was actually smaller than the other controllers. But I think the one that everyone is going to be looking at is his Stim Beacon, because first of all, Stim Beacon was practically useless. It legit was. Like, it was very, very, very useless. It was just a normal ability. So, but now, they've now buffed it. It now also applies a 15% speed boost in addition to rapid fire. Now, that is going to make duelist plays, especially like Jet and Neon, absolutely OP. Maybe even Yoru if Yoru actually gets played, because I'll be honest, the Yoru changes look really, really good. So I feel like Brimstone might be the best controller agent and might be a must pick. That's just in my opinion, because Astra has fucking fell off. With the mastery of Astra's play pattern over time, she's become an overwhelming force in both coordinated and high MMR play. She's crowded out Brimstone and Omen by replicating their strengths, and they simply couldn't keep up with the map-wide impact of her utility. We're taking steps to create clearer relative weakness in an attempt to carve more space for our other controllers. This starts by reducing her overall utility output and increasing her ability cooldown, in the hopes that this will increase the importance of each move she makes. Paired with this, we're taking the opportunity to provide some quality of life updates and bug fixes that we feel are long overdue. So first off with the stars, and I think the stars are the main one that everyone is looking at. The max stars has been reduced from 5 to 4. So if you're like me, also I played a lot of Astra before this. You'll sometimes put 2 smokes in both in 2 sites, or if Haven maybe 1 smoke, or maybe you just put 1 smoke on each site. I don't really know. Whatever you want to play it. This is devastating, especially for me. So if I do want to keep playing Astra, then I need to kind of think about how to use my stars. Cooldown on retrieving a star has been increased from 14 to 25 seconds, so that's also a pretty big nerf. Astra can now pick up play stars during the buy phase to refund their charge immediately, which I really like. Max distance of star placement has been increased from 10,000, I'm guessing that is, to 30,000 to allow her to place stars across the furthest corners of maps, which is pretty nice. I quite like that change. Gravity Well, the cooldown has been increased from 25 to 45, so when you use it or yeah, so mainly when you use it, it will go to a 45-second cooldown. The gravity well size has been decreased to 525 to 475, which is also pretty big. Gravity well no longer affects anyone fully underneath the gravity well. It was kind of an abusive bug, I'm guessing. So that's all the gravity well changes. Nova Pulse, the cooldown has been increased from 25 to 45, so just like the gravity well. The Nova Pulse no longer affects anyone underneath the Nova Pulse. So I think the Nova Pulse is the concussive, if I remember correctly. So if you're underneath it, it will no longer affect you. So it'll be just like the Gravity Well. Nebula, so her smoke, the cooldown has been increased from 14 to 25 seconds, so it's still pretty long, but not as long as Gravity Well and Nova Pulse. The Nebula cooldown are now sequential instead of simultaneous. So I don't really know what that means, but we can maybe have a look at the video from the Korean Valorant YouTube channel. We'll see what that means. And the nebula size has been increased from 410 from 410 to 435. So at least the smoke is going to be a bit bigger. The Astral Form, while in Astral Form, pings are no longer blocked by level geometry that allows Astra that Astra cannot see. Astra's targeting ring in Astral Form is reduced to 1 ring that reflects and now unifies size of all her utility. Astra's targeting ring no longer randomly disappears when aiming across some map locations. Increase the speed of the overlay that covers Astra's screen when transitioning in and out of Astral Form, and fix an issue where stars were placed slightly above the location Astra was targeting. So I guess it's no longer really changes. Well, it basically just quality of life changes, I think, for Astra players. So I feel like Astra is donezo. She is gone. Basically everyone's prayers have been answered. They wanted Astra gone. Astra is now gone, and Brimstone is going to be the new controller. That's just in my opinion, though. Let's now move on to the last controller, which is Viper. We like Viper's hybrid controller sentinel role on the roster, but her buffs and our newest map additions have turned her into a must-have controller and best-in-class sentinel in more situations than we think a dual-role agent should fill. With the below changes, we hope to create stark decisions points on when Viper should manage her fuel, as well as provide clearer counterplay opportunities and attack windows for her enemies. Now, I was actually having a look at this in the morning, and this is actually some pretty interesting stuff. I've never been so interested in passionate, especially on Vipers. So her fuel. The fuel drain increased 50% when Toxic Screen and Poison Cloud are both activated, so the drain is just going to go poof all the way down. Viper's fuel bar now turns red when she does not have enough fuel to activate her abilities. That's a pretty nice quality of life change. Toxic Screen, the cooldown after deactivating increases from 6 to 8. The cooldown timer now starts when her smoke starts dissipating instead of when the deactivation telegraph plays. The deactivation delay decreased from 1 to 0.8, so basically 0.8. The toxic screen now has yellow lights that indicates when it is on cooldown, which is pretty nice. Remove delay on toxic screen. I'm like whatever. On toxic screen when Viper is suppressed, and added a unique voice line that plays when her smoke is disabled by suppress. Poison Cloud, cooldown after deactivating, so it's kind of like the same as it was. So the Poison Cloud and the Toxic Screen are basically the same. This Poison Orbit now has yellow lights. They remove the delay when Viper is suppressed, and a unique voice line that plays when her smoke is disabled by a suppress. So it's kind of just you know, kind of the same from both abilities. And finally, Snakebite, the duration has been decreased from 6.5 to 5.5, so a lot shorter. Let's now get into the juicy part of this video, and everyone is looking for. It is, of course, the Yoru changes. Yoru is here with a few more tools in his belt, ready to gatecrash his way back into your heart. I hate whoever wrote that. Fake Out is now a mirror image of Yoru and should help with adding a way to punish deceived enemies. Gatecrash's teleport beacon, now with the ability to fake the teleport cues, will allow Yoru to create pressure around the map, confusing enemies as they second guess their backline safety. Dimensional Drift now gives Yoru full vision and access to his utility, allowing him to take space with his team while creating pressure on the backlines. We're happy to be able to lean heavy into Yoru's deception fantasy and are excited to see him back in your hands. Now, I'll go through the Yoru changes and I'll give my opinions on them. Fake Out. The charges has been reduced from 2 to 1. The decoy HP, so his clone, it is 150 HP, so it's just a full armor. Decoy is now a full running version of Yoru and can only be sent running forward. Right click to place a stationary marker for the decoy. Reactivate similarly to footsteps to create the decoy that runs forward. Upon taking damage from an enemy gun, the decoy winds up, turns towards the enemy that shoots it, and explodes after a short delay. That is a horror film, I just want to say. Enemies within the cone are flashed, so I don't really know what the cone will look like. But I'm gonna guess by drawing on the screen so you can have a look at it. This is just gonna be a guess. I'm gonna guess the cone is gonna be, so this is Yoru, and the cone is gonna be like that maybe. That's probably how. That's a terrible cone, but you know it's okay, whatever. You know, okay, so it's just gonna be maybe like this. That's probably maybe how the cone's gonna go. Maybe it's gonna be a bit smaller. I don't really know how it is, but all we have to do is just guess. That's really all. Gate Crash. Charges has been increased from 1 to 2. The cost will be 200 creds. Cooldown changes. Cooldown changes. Refresh removed. Was to switch back to 2 kill reset. I had no idea what the hell I just read. Gate Crash can now be faked by pressing F while hovering over the beacon. Fake Teleport will now play audio portion visuals as if Yoru's teleport was attempted. Time it takes for teleport beacon has decreased from 1.5 to 0.5 seconds, so that's a pretty big buff. Teleport beacons in-game audio while traveling reduced from 22.5 meters to 12.5 meters. So it's going to be a lot shorter. So you need to be really close to it to hear it. Teleport beacon speed has been increased from 675 to 800, so it's going to be a pretty speedy boy. Upon activating the fake teleport, the beacon creates a small decal on the floor for 30 seconds to indicate location of the fake teleport. So it'll be just a little puddle, basically. Dimensional Drift. This is the final one. Obviously, his blind was not changed at all. So the duration has been increased from 8 to 10 seconds. Yoru is not revealed to enemies. Unequipped delay time has been increased from 0.6 to 1.2 seconds. Yoru is now able to cast all Util out of his ultimate. Yoru's footsteps can now be heard within 15 meters of Yoru's location, which is pretty far. Actually, not really, but still pretty far. Cast delay up added upon casting Dimensional Drift, preventing the invulnerability frame on cast. Map updates only. There's actually two, but two maps, but one is pretty minor. This is the Ascent one. B Orb cannot be taken from the lower box. Thank God for that, because every single time when I failed to jump on that, that was a pain. This is the one. This is the one that everyone was looking for. Icebox. I think this is the third time they have changed Icebox. Obviously, there was the release one. There was the one that came in before this, and now this one. So, oh boy, it's gonna be a lot of, yeah, many Icebox changes to look back at. Changes to B Green Lane are focused on improving attacker options and making the space more comfortable to play in. So this is the before screenshot, this is the after. So you see this little doorway now been added, and this part has been moved back. The reason for this is so the doorway from attacker spawn building near Green Lane has been moved to the first cubby. This is to give attackers a new way to approach B Green instead of having to enter from two similar positions. After when I do the patch notes and do the battle pass, I will be playing as Yoru, checking out the Icebox changes and maybe the Ascent one. But I feel like the Ascent one is very it doesn't really matter. This the before main or B main. This is now after. Green lane, oh you can't see that. Sorry, green lane slightly widened. This is to make moving through the space more comfortable. So I think these green boxes has been moved back a bit. I'm guessing. I'll be honest, I do not see anything. I do not see like any changes. They look exactly the same. I think it's just these boxes have been moved back a bit, which is pretty nice. Which also means that pocket right here. I guess you can kind of see the barrel. I guess I think you can kind of see the gun barrel now, which is pretty nice. So here it is before pocket. This is after pocket. Pocket in green lane near yellow extended. This is to make angles towards B side and snowman more clear and readable, which is pretty nice as well. I think it's also still going to be a camper spot, so be wary on that. B-side's rework. The B-side rework is focused on adding more importance to controlling the side when attacking and making engagements around the side more manageable. This is yellow, so this is before. This is now after, so they just rotated and they added some boxes in for cover. Yellow container adjusted and new stack of crates added. As players have settled into Icebox, we've noticed a lot of rounds revolve around anchoring down behind yellow during post-planned situations. This change should allow yellow to retain some power while adding more value to holding space on the actual site. So, obviously, we get into the actual site very, very soon, actually, but this is a pretty good change. It adds some cover as well, especially for attackers who wants to go behind yellow. And I guess also defenders as well who wants to anchor yellow on spawn, so that's pretty nice. This is so this is the side, this is before, this is after. Been a lot of changes. So you say goodbye to this crate, goodbye to this end part, and the bottom part as well of the site. This little container. The top part I think is still part of the site, and this bottom part as well. The lower container removed from geometry adjacent into a cubby facing green. Doorway on the upper container widened and is positioned adjacent. So adjusted, not adjacent. Adjusted, not adjacent, my bad. This should allow players to better isolate fights around the site and make utility usable more meaningful. Pretty interesting. I think you can also now plant on near kitchen ramp or walkway, I guess. So this is like, I think we'll talk about this one. This is before, this is now after. I think they just moved it back a tiny bit. I don't know. I can't really tell. It looks it looks very, very similar, if not the same. Oh no, they did move it back. This little space here is now gone. Outer wall on B side and crane structure brought brought in towards the site. Never mind. Narrowing the site allows for more controllers to comfortably use their utility without having to worry about gaps. That's a pretty good buff for all controllers. This is so this is near Snowman up in kitchen. This is after. This is before. They've now blocked off this part, which is pretty big. Building in back B closed off. We want to encourage attackers to push further and hold more space. Closing off this building should allow players to better anchor themselves in Snowman. It should also better highlight using B fence to cut off rotations. Thank God they cut off this. Thank God. This was a pain in the ass most of the time. I hated it. Especially clearing out this corner and all these corners. My God, I hated it. This is a bird's eye view of B side, so this is before. This is now after. Nothing really changed, but whatever. The plant zone on B side adjusted. This changes to encourage more spike plant diversity while retaining some safer defaults to work with. You can now also plant on the bridge from kitchen to upper container as well. Right here. You can plant right here. And I already saw a Twitter post. I'll probably try and find it and put it up on screen. But I found a Twitter post and it was a sage wall blocking off this entrance right here from B side onto kitchen. And the spike was on the other side. So I guess they've already found the default, basically. Already found it. Let's now talk about mid. The changes to mid are aimed at adjusting line of sight and making these spaces more comfortable to play in. So this is kitchen, so this is before, and this is after. So they've shrinking this part right here. Back wall and kitchen adjusted. This change should help moving through the space feel more comfortable and allow players to more easily clear the space. I cannot English for some reason. This is underneath tubes, so this is before and this is after. All they did was added a crate. Crates added to orange lane to block line of sight from under tube to danger. That's a pretty good change. I quite like that. This is our ramp looking through mid, and so that's before and this is after. The boiler ramp geo simplified and slightly narrowed. Smokes will now fully cover boiler and players should find head peaks from ramps more predictable. Pretty nice change. Now, B-side wasn't the only side that got changes. A-side also got some changes as well. A-side can feel overwhelming for defenders, so these changes should give them some new options and allow them to better isolate attacker angles. So this is like a little robot on site. It's now been changed to a Radiant crate. RIP. Cover on back A side adjusted. This change should give defenders a little extra space to anchor on. I think there's actually this used to be a sack of Radiant crate. If correct me if I'm wrong. And this is pipes. Obviously, everyone hates this spot, especially attackers love this spot because they could jump up here and kill people from above. That's now been changed. You can no longer jump on top of that. No longer, unless you have like a vertical movement like Jet or Raze. But for a normal character, you cannot go up there. Head peak on attacker side pipes removed, where attackers can peek from on A side can feel overwhelming. This change should allow defenders to better isolate where threats can come from. And this is screen, so this is before and this is after. They just narrowed this a bit. Doorway into A has been lowered to prevent foot shot on players on top of screens. Pretty nice change. Competitive updates. So this is a testing, and it's called the Deterministic Map System, which is only going to be for in Latin America. The goal is to increase variety. Variety of maps that players will encounter. I cannot English today. I'm so sorry. So this will be just a test, and the probably maybe come in for all regions within the next few days / weeks. So this is how it goes, I guess. So this is how it determines what map to pick. So it follows 3 rules when picking the map after players have been selected to play a match. The system will look at all maps players have played over the last 5 maps on that mode. The system will remove any maps that a player has played twice in the past 5 maps, and the system will pick the least played map. If all maps have been removed due to the twice played rule, those maps will be added back to the pool, and the least played map will be picked. And here's a lot of bug fixes. How fun. For agents, fix an issue where enemies wouldn't trigger Cypher's tripwire in rare situations. Fix the boom knot. The boom knot showing up for Astra as if planted while in Astral Form. Okay. Fix the bug where Viper's toxic screen audio could play in the next round if it is activated right on the end. Yoru's gate crash icon showing up as a big white circle in Brimstone's targeting map. Fix the bug where Chambers' teleport would sometimes fail when cast immediately after firing the last bullet of Headhunter. And fix the bug where Chambers' Tour de Force would constantly spawn slow zones when firing at KOs during null/CMD. So she'll fix an issue where with AFKs in escalation game mode. Esports features fix a bug where the timer would overlap itself while viewing the mega map as an observer. And finally, for game system, fix an issue where you could tap the scroll wheel to activate the diffuse audio without actually initially diffusing. So that's all the patch notes. I'm going to try and find the video. I found said video, and here it is.
배치노트 아니 패치노트 4.04 내가 앞장서지. 꽤 많은 변경이 있으니 잘 보라고. 다들 기다리던 내 소식부터 알려줄 테니 집중해야 할 거야. 관문 충돌, 기만, 그리고 궁극기가 변경됐다. 이제 관문 충돌은 2킬을 하면 충전되는 방식이지. 그리고 설치된 결속에 F키로 가짜 순간이동을 쓸 수 있어. 어때? 효과음까지 모든 게 다 진짜 같지? 대신 가짜 순간이동을 쓰면 흔적이 남으니 참고하라고. 기만은 한 번밖에 쓸 수 없군. 괜찮아. 꽤 좋아졌거든. 스킬을 활성화하면 발자국이 아닌 내 분신이 이동할 거다. 적들이 내 분신을 쏘면 분신은 적을 바라보고 펑! 이제 너희의 눈까지 멀게 하지. 궁극기도 볼까? 일단 지속시간도 증가했고 적들에게 가까이 다가가도 적들은 날 볼 수 없을 거다. 심지어 차원을 표류하면서 스킬도 쓸 수 있으니 좋은데 나쁘지 않군. 그럼 변경된 다른 녀석들도 하나씩 살펴보자고. 먼저 오멘이야. 너도 나만큼 좋아진 것 같군. 그렇지? 느릿느릿하던 네 연막이 이제 매우 빨라졌고 피해망상을 썼을 때 같은 편에 눈을 멀게 하는 일도 이젠 거의 볼 수 없겠어. 좋아, 오멘, 측면을 공격하자고. 늙은이는 또 좋아진 건가? 뭐 그럴 때도 됐지. 연막은 더 멀리까지 쓸 수 있고 자극제 신호기 버프는 더 좋아졌어. 어때? 빨라진 이동 속도가 마음에 드나? 이번엔 아스트라야. 녀석도 뭔가 많이 바뀌었어. 중요한 것만 설명할 테니 집중해. 별의 개수는 감소했어. 대신 별을 설치할 수 있는 범위가 매우 많이 증가했지. 중력의 셈과 신성 파동은 높이 차이가 있을 경우 더 이상 적용되지 않는군. 네가 아래에 있다면 안심해도 되겠어. 마지막으로 살펴볼 요원은 바이퍼군. 너 한동안 좋았잖아. 이 정도 너프는 감수해야지. 안 그래? 앞으로 독성 장막과 독성 연기를 함께 사용하면 연료 소모량이 확 증가할 거야. 그리고 바이퍼가 제압당했을 때 꽤 오래 남아있던 독성 장막과 독성 연기들 이젠 빨리 사라질 거다. 심지어 스킬을 사용할 수 없을 때는 장치들이 노란색으로 보이니까 심리전도 쉽지 않겠군. 일단 요원 설명은 여기까지 하고 다른 패치들도 빨리 보자고. 양이 꽤 많으니까. 맵은 어센트부터 볼까? 간단해. 비지역 궁극기 구슬을 좀 더 쉽게 먹을 수 있도록 바꾼 거야. 한마디로 편해진 거다. 아이스박스는 꽤 내용이 많으니까 설명보단 보는 게 빠를 거다. 공격팀이 B 사이트로 갈 때 B 차고의 변경, 넓어진 B 녹색길, B 눈사람까지 시야가 확보되는 B 은신처, 완전히 달라진 노란색 컨테이너와 추가 상자들, 크레인 벽면의 변화, B 후방 건물은 문을 닫았고 설치 지역은 상단, 하단 컨테이너가 바뀜과 동시에 스파이크 설치 범위가 더 넓어졌지. 이번엔 중앙 지역을 가보자고. 튜브에서 주방으로 진입하는 벽면이 짧아졌군. 튜브 아래와 비설치 지역 사이에 시야를 차단하는 박스가 생겼고, 수비팀 시작 지점의 보일러 램프가 더 단순하게 변경됐어. A? 물론 바뀌었지. A 스크린룸의 출입구가 낮아졌고, 사이트에 레디어 나이트 박스가 생겼어. 마지막으로 공격팀 방향의 A 파이프는 평평하고 좁아졌군. 달라진 아이스박스라. 활약했던 게 엊그제 같은데 정말 새롭군. 다들 맵 시스템을 궁금해하던데 내가 어렵게 준비했어. 잘 읽어봐. 어때? 다들 잘 알겠지? 오늘 패치노트는 여기까지. 자세한 건 홈페이지에 더 많이 있으니까 꼭 확인하고 구조 알대 부탁한다.
That is the patch notes. I'll be honest, now kind of think about it, Omen looks really, really good. Viper's still gonna be used a tiny bit, not as much. Astra is fully dead, let's just say that. So, I guess we'll have a look at I guess the battle pass, as I always do. So obviously this is the Yoru stuff. Well, this is the new act. So this is Act 2, Episode 4. Obviously got the Yoru rework, Icebox updates, Act 2 Battle Pass, and the new new skin bundle, which is called Gaia's Avengers. I have no clue. I can't English most of the time. So let's get started and let's have a look firstly at my store. Oh, I love that. Oh my god. Anyways, let's just have a look at the bundle first. Got the Vandal, which is pretty nice, and then we got the Guardian, the Marshal, the Knife, which is a Wraith, which is pretty cool. It's basically an axe. The Ghost, the Spray, and the Card, and finally the Buddy. Let's now have a look at the Battle Pass, and already, so we got Lycan's Bane Ghost. It actually looks pretty nice. Holy crap, that looks really good. Love that. Divine Swine card, we got the Divine Swine Judge. Okay, so it's basically a pig. Oh, it's one of those moving ones. Oh god, alright. Hashtag save Joy card. That's beautiful. I love that. I think it's also the community made this. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the community made this act. Someone needs to fact check me on that. Wide is the title. Love that. Crane Mana Spray. Got Stop Spray. Home Again Sky card. The Striker Spectre. I actually quite like this. This looks really, really good. A lot better, I'll be honest, than the previous acts, but yeah. Episode 4 to card no one cares. Home Again, Brimstone card, Slipping Away, Spray, Key of Life, Divine Swine Marshal, Habibi title. Oh gosh. Lycan's Bane. I really, really like the Lycan Bane. The Lycan's Bane skins. I really, really like those. There's Lycan's Bane. Matcha Break Spray, okay, that's weird. And it's the Ares Divine Swine. Hashtag save Joy. Oh my god, they love their they love their Joys, and I don't blame them. All Board Spray, a Lycan's Bane, buddy. Sheesh Spray, and I hate it. The Vandal. Oh, that reminds me of the Reaver Vandal. Oh, I love that. Oh my god. Bulwark Armory card. Splitting Melon Spray. Alright. Woke up thinking lineup spray. Yeah, I need a sober one of that, I'll be honest. Not just a Viper one. Home Again Rainer card. Striker Bulldog. That's the Marusheka buddy. Oh, that's Russian doll. Home Again Chamber card. I love Home Again, my god. I'm not gonna pronounce that. I'm gonna guess, mostly noodles. Take a Battle Spray. The Divine Swine Frenzy. Gonemal's title. Many Thanks Spray. Turtle Ship Buddy. Home Again Yoru card. The Odin. Don't you just see Reva in this? My god. Takti Bears Balaka? Balakia? I don't know. Home Again Cypher card. Pros Don't Fake Spray. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Hang loose spray, that's interesting. Striker operator. God, imagine the operator in the Lycon Bane skin. That would be epic. All-purpose slipper spray. Buddy, sorry. Bruno's Happy Dance. Oh, that's cute. La Baguette. I love that one. Home Again Jet card. Striker knife. Ooh. That looks pretty good. And they got the classic. And got the Hush card. That's rumored to be the new agent or something. And here's the epilogue. Oh, yes. It's just all saved by joy. I love Valorant. I love Riot so much. Anyways, that is really all. Let's now have a look at. Let's now go to the custom game, and let's go to Icebox. Where's Icebox? There it is. And let's have a look at the changes that they have done. I'm actually pretty excited about these changes. All right, so here we are in Icebox, and already here is the ramp that has been changed. Sorry, it's a bit laggy. I apologize for that. So here is the ramp. Pretty interesting. So you can't really... I don't know if the attackers can actually see your head if you chill up here. You can definitely see people if they go up tube. Is the... Oh my god, yeah, they really lowered it. Oh my god. I never realized how much it lowered it. This is A. Well, first off at A before we go to B. Here's a Radiant crate. Obviously you can shoot through it, so it doesn't really matter. I think you can. Yeah, you can. Can you? Hang on. Let me get a vandal. Yeah, you can. Alright, so it's only just a tiny bit of cover. Let's move over, I think, here. I think they made a change over here, if I remember correctly. Yes, they did. So there's a little reinforced crate here. So they basically moved that crate over here. So the crate was originally here, then they moved over to here. As I move up to kitchen, this is definitely a lot shorter. You can still like kind of camp corners, so you can still just kind of hold this angle. But I think it'll be a lot easier for them, for the defenders to come up here and have a look if there's anyone there. Now let's go to the big stuff. Actually, we'll start back here. So they definitely did close this off. Oh no, can he jump up there? I wish I can. I think he still can you? Yeah, you can. So you can still jump up that. This has been a bit closer, so... And this, Jesus Christ, has been changed. So this whole part is that you can plant in. This whole place. Even that part over there. So if you put the strip wire, get the strip wire, you can plant up here. You can also plant over here as well. Which is weird. I don't know why you would do this. But that's interesting. So I guess like you can like maybe say like this is maybe a good spot. Maybe up there's a good spot as well. But I feel like everyone is going to be trying to plant over here in hall and kitchen. That's where most people are going to be planting, in my opinion. Because of just how broken it is. Apparently you can actually plant spike there. Actually, I'm going to try right now. Let's switch teams. If I can. I don't know if I can actually. Swap teams. Me and
30 seconds left.
Move in after I strike.
And game phase.
That's when's a week.
Okay, let's have a look. I guess we'll also have a look at the other changes as well. So for attacking, let me get my crap. I forgot to get the spike. I'm so smart. Like I said, this video is going for 41 minutes. Oh goddy. So, okay, so this has been changed. They didn't talk about a crate in here. So here's like a little crate for like little camping corners. This is how you enter. How you enter. So this part is sort of exactly the same. This one is different. Come through here, shoot through there. Check this corner. Check up there. Actually, pretty nice. This definitely feels a lot more wide. Here's right here. Here's the pocket. Finally, this is actually useful. Here's yellow. You can still kind of, hide behind it and everything. Just camp corner. They just peek corners and everything. And I think you can plant up here. Let me see if you can. Yeah. Look at it. Look, you got plant
Plant.
over here. Look at that. Let's do that. Up.
My ult's ready. There are more answers here. I just have to find them.
I'm a dumbass. End game phase. Okay, so let's have a look at the Yoru changes, shall we? So first is a fake out. So you can place him and press F, I guess, if I can. Can I press F? Press F. Can I press F? Can I press F? So he actually holds my weapon, which is interesting. So that's what. Okay, so that's what he looks like at my end. Obviously, I don't have friends. Well, I do, but they aren't online right now, so I can't really test what it looks like for the enemy team. There you launch it. Okay. So I think is it just different? So it's a gun that you have, but it doesn't have to be that skin. And it goes really far. Am I right in saying that? So here's like a regular Vandal skin. The red and here's a red. Okay. Why was it Prime Vandal earlier? That's weird. Okay, so Flash hasn't really been changed, so there's a little flash there, blah blah blah. Let's now do the teleport.
Cutting through.
And fake.
Fake teleport.
Fake teleport. So it does say fake teleport, and here's a little puddle that shows, you know, that it was a fake teleport. You can also replace it as well.
Fake teleport.
Fake teleport. I don't know why you would probably do that. Like, I don't know why you would do that. So what you could maybe do is you could do that, flash, and then fake teleport it, just to catch the enemies off guard, and also your enemy can, and also so your teammates can also push up. Let's have a look at his ultimate.
I'll handle this. My time
So
to jump.
there's that, there's that, there's that, there's that. So you can basically, yeah, so you can use all of your abilities, huh? You can just be annoying as hell.
I'm back.
You can be incredibly annoying as Yoru. I really, really like the Yoru changes. I feel like, I think Yoru might be, like, if Jet gets nerfed, I think it's going to be between Yoru or Raze who's going to be the main priority, I was supposed to say DPS, duelist player. That's just in my opinion though. Neon is still pretty decent. Reyna is also decent. Phoenix, we don't talk about them. And oh yeah, I forgot about his pipes. I forgot to talk about pipes. His pipes as well. Yeah, you really can't see. So you legit have to come up. So if you're a defender, you can just come up here, be aggressive, shoot there. That's interesting. All right, cool, cool. So that is really about it for today's video. Sorry that it was incredibly long, but obviously this is a big patch. So that's really it for me now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.